Hey, I often have people ask me, and especially lately, which I think is a good thing because October is coming up, and well, it is a month for women. It is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, along with other things. And people ask me quite often, Amy, why do I put it all out there? Why do I tell my story, like the whole story? The things that have crushed me, the things that may have crushed you. Why do I lay it out there? And there are so many reasons, and I'm going to say a few, and I'm sure as soon as I get done with this, I'll think of 5 more. But first of all, if I share my story, if I share the things that I have gone through in my lifetime that people would probably never guess if I didn't say it, it puts it all into the light. And when we put the things from the shadows, the things that we think should remain hidden, shame, guilt, just the things that may have happened to us, when we take those things out of the shadows and just put them out into the light, then our enemy cannot use them against us. So Satan can't use it. Once I put it out in the light, he can't use it to hold me down, to hold me back, to make me feel less than. Or gossip just came to my mind. Once it's in the light, it's not so easy to gossip about somebody once they've already put it out there. I have one girlfriend that says, I just can't. It just takes me back. I love it, but you just always say, like my first ex-husband. Well, when you put those things out in the light, it makes it much more difficult for individuals to gossip, for someone that's, has their own hurt, to just go and chatter about you and what they perceive you as, or to tear you down for whatever reason. So once you have things in the light, it's much more difficult for people to gossip about you, and the enemy cannot come against you. That's number one, first and foremost, once it's in the light. The second thing I wrote down, and I have all these little notes, and I hate when I write notes because then I look at them all the time because I don't want to forget anything. The second thing, the word I wrote down is understanding. And I thought, because it's not easy. It's never easy. It never gets easier. And there are some things that actually put me in harm's way or can be dangerous to talk about. But if just one person, one child, one young girl, one woman might hear it, might hear part of their story, part of what has crushed them in the things that I talk about, they may hear it and then find hope and see hope. And that's so important. They might just realize that I see her, that I see you, that I hear you, that God sees you. God sees you. He knows, he hears. And you're not alone. You're not alone, and you're not abandoned. And God certainly understands that. And perhaps part of my story is in part of your story, and I can understand how you feel, where you've been, and what it means just to be heard and to know you're not alone or abandoned. Allergies, I think, are getting me here. The next thing I wrote down was, once we lay it all down, just lay it out there, and not necessarily, I think I wrote that in here. I'm not saying you don't have to go like me and talk to women's groups or talk to people or talk to the whole internet. But so I'm not saying that not everyone is called to just put it all out there for the whole wide world. But once you go and you just lay it all out to God, to a therapist, look at my nail, sorry about that, to God, to a therapist, to a counselor, to one very trusted friend. Once you lay it out, it makes room, it makes space for healing to start taking place. It makes room for you to be filled with good things, with confidence, with who you really are. and not what happened to you once you take it there and just lay it all down. I am breaking generational chains. I am breaking chains. I am breaking generational bonds and bondage and generational curses left and right by laying it all out there, by taking it to the altar, by taking it to God, by taking it to the women that I work with, by taking it to the women's groups that I talk to, by taking it out there, by doing the work and sitting with what's happened and then doing the work and healing. I am breaking chains and making new paths for my generations to come, for my daughters, for their daughters, and my granddaughters and great granddaughters, for generations to come. I have broken chains. I have broken bondage, and it's never coming back because I have torn it apart and broken it. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That makes me so excited. There's the next note. I am breaking chains. I am breaking chains. So girls, break those chains. And I talked about my daughters just right there. I'm breaking generational curses for my daughters. And my daughters have gotten to watch my pouring out. They've gotten to watch my healing. They have gotten to watch everything come out of the shadows. And by doing this and sharing my journey first of all, with my daughters, it helps them, it helps me along the path of forgiveness and not feeling shame and guilt for what I have poured onto my daughters, but it helps my daughters in their forgiveness process toward me. So I hope that makes sense, but allowing my daughters to see the process and to watch me realize it, sit with it, work through it, which is not easy. It's so difficult to work through trauma and past hurts and abuse, but it's helped them along the way as well. And then at the beginning, I said, all of the story, the things that have crushed me. When we think about olive oil, when we think about olive oil being made in the Bible, olives have to be gathered and they have to be crushed. They have to be pressed. They have to be pressed down and crushed through the process. And once they've been crushed, that wonderful, sweet, flavorful oil it produces. The oil comes out. The olive, after being crushed, produces the oil that is nourishing, that is enriching, that is good and enhancing. So the process of crushing allows us, if we will allow it, it allows us to be used in order to bring forth what is good, to bring forth a good oil, to bring forth something that is helpful and nourishing for other people. I just want to now encourage you. I knew this would go longer than I wanted. I want to encourage you. Lay it all down, whatever it is. It might be huge. There goes the phone. And it's far away and I can't get it and it's going to be annoying. Let me encourage you. And the enemy cannot come against me right now. No, no, no. Nay, nay, I say. You cannot come against me even with the phone ringing. We're going to just let it. I think it'll ring one more time after this, because this is the important part. This is the important part. If you've made it here, amen. Amen, sister. This is the important part. I want to encourage you that whatever has crushed you, whatever has beaten you down, whatever has stolen your confidence, whatever, it might be small and it might be huge. I don't know what is in your shadows. I don't know what you keep hidden in those places. I don't know what burdens, what heaviness you carry with you. Whatever that is, I want to encourage you to lay it all down. And you don't have to do it like this in front of the whole wide world. Take it someplace. This is my prayer chair where I'm sitting right now. And usually I'm on the floor kneeling with my hands up like this on my prayer chair. Lay it down. Lay it down at whatever the altar is. Lay it down while you're laying in the bed crying. Lay it down at your prayer chair. Lay it down in front of God. He will pick it up. Lay it all down. Lay it all down. The guilt, the shame, the shadows, the anger, bitterness. Stop carrying those things. They're heavy and they take up too much space. And you need to get rid of them so that you have space for healing and for hope and for good. Take it to the altar. Give it to God. Don't. I'm pointing the finger. Don't pick it up. Don't pick it up. Leave it there. Let God use it. Let God heal you. Let God love you. And then let God use you and use it. Use what has crushed you in order to give hope to someone else. You never know when, where, how, or with who it will take place, but He will use it in order for you to give hope to someone else. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to move from something to for something. I guess I should do it that way. From something to for something. So don't sit in anything that is negative, anything that is traumatic, anything that holds you back, anything that steals your confidence. Move on from that something and move into for something. Use it for good. Use it for growing. Use it for edifying. Use it for hope. Maybe it's time. Amen, sister.